This is the way we begin. Adequate notice of this May the 9th, 2019 meeting has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act by posting written notice and agenda of this meeting on the bulletin board in the Municipal Building, 1000 Route 10, Township of Hanover, by hand delivering, mailing, or faxing such notice and agenda to the following newspapers: Morris County's Daily Record, the Star Ledger, Hanover Eagle, and by filing same with the Township Clerk. May I have a roll call?
On roll call, Committeeman Gallagher.
Here.
Committeeman Sharamoska is away due to a death in the family. Committeeman Mahalko.
Here.
Committeeman Cahill.
Here.
And Mayor Francioli.
Here.
4 members in attendance, sir.
Okay, thank you, Joseph. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise, those that can, join me in a pledge of allegiance to the flag. Remain standing for a prayer, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Please.
Almighty God, we ask you to bless this governing body with an abundance of wisdom and understanding so that every deliberation will result in actions which will promote the common good and the general welfare for all the people of Hanover Township. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, this evening we have it's the honor of the Township Committee to present some awards to some members, student body of our schools, and we're very happy to do that. This is an award for a contest known as Put a Lid on It to Keep Water Clean. And by the way, before we even begin, I'd like to congratulate members of our school board. I'd like to congratulate our superintendent, principal, and certainly teachers that were involved, with this particular one, Christine Fox, who brought about this program. So many of the programs that have come to this dais have come out of our schools. Last year, if you remember, there was an effort to put forth a program to ban plastic bags in the use of plastic bags in groceries, etc. We put that forth to our legislators, and I'm somewhat timid to say that our student body had more wisdom than our legislators. And the plastic bag bans and uses of sustainable types of materials is now being considered on a nationwide level, and we're glad to see that. But there's nothing more important to us, all of us here in our town of Hanover and throughout the area, if not the country, is the purity of our air, the quality of our water and soils, etc., and their environmental conditions. Without that, the circle of life in this world is disturbed. To come up with a contest that brings more attention to our environment like this, Put a Lid on It, is something we're very pleased about. We've got students tonight that are with us, and they're going to be awarded tonight, and I'm going to have Christine Fox. You want to come forward and introduce some of your students, or do you want to make a comment?
For each of the students.
There you go.
So
you could turn around. Go ahead.
Well, we have 6th grader. Well, Amanda Leonard was a 6th grader that won, but she could not be here tonight. But we have Janet Galen, another 6th grader who won. So congratulations, Jenna. And we have 7th graders, Hayden Kohler, which is Nicole D'Angelo. And we have 8th graders, this is Gabby Gerlato. And Jessica Ignaza. And the students worked extremely hard. It was a wonderful project, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. They learned some graphic design and also learned about the importance of preventing non-point source pollution. So it was a really great collaboration and great idea to do. So we appreciate that.
Absolutely was. Absolutely. We have representatives here tonight also from Whippany River Watershed Action Committee. Jim, you want to say a few words?
Yeah, it's actually an honor to be here tonight. Thanks for inviting me. The Action Committee recognizes the artists.
Jim, go right to the podium. Yeah.
Good. Whippany River Watershed Action Committee appreciates being here tonight and recognizing the artists. It's important to raise awareness to how important the natural resource water is. So we look forward to continue this next year, too. Congratulations to the artists.
Very good, thank you. Brian, yeah. What I'm going to do at this time, our representatives to our school boards, both on a regional level and our local level, is Committeeman Gallagher and Committeeman Cahill. I think they both have some comments that they'd like to make, and then they'd like to make some presentations to you. Money, it's good, gift certificates. So on that note, Ace?
Now, I would just like to say that when it comes to music and art and having that as a major vehicle for expression, I think it's a beautiful thing to convey a message. My mom taught in Hanover Township schools for almost 30 years. I've also taught drums in Hanover Township schools for a few years. I know there's incredible musicians and artists in this town, and for everybody to get together and work towards such an important purpose and to share information like this on the broader scale is a beautiful thing. I'm not an art critique. I don't know how to critique art. I know how to listen to music and say what I like and what I don't like and why. But I can say I think this art is great. The message is clear. And I really appreciate the passion that these kids put into it. I know a few of the students personally, and I'm very, very proud. And I think it's great. And I think it's clear my prejudice towards Hanover Township school system, how much I appreciate and became very close friends with Mr. Wasco. Mr. Wasserman, you're a rock star. And Mr. Anderson, you were everybody's favorite teacher. And then you had to get a little stricter once you became a principal. But these guys are great. The schools are great. And, I appreciate you guys wanting to do this and taking the initiative to put something like this forward. And I hope tonight makes you feel a little bit special, that a lot of people are taking the time to say what you did was great. We appreciate it, and thank you for sharing such an important message. So that's my comments.
Nicely
Ron.
said. Brian?
Great, so
Cahill.
just echo what Ace said, congratulations, great job. I think, besides having the opportunity to, win something and demonstrate your talents, you might not know it, but you've also helped the town out as well. In doing this and getting involved in collaborating between the schools and us, you've helped the township earn points with the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection that will help us in our clean water endeavors going forward. These points are towards education and that sort of thing. So not only have you helped yourselves and you've won something, but you've also helped out the community as well. So again, congratulations. I think with that said, let me handle a little bit of the logistics end of it. What we'd like to do now is Committeeman Gallagher and I will go over to the screen over there, and we're going to call you up one by one more time, make you stand up in front of everybody, and present you with your award. And then if you would, after we present you with your award, if you just remain up front here in front of the table, then what we'll do is we'll
do a group shot.
That'd be great.
Committeeman and anybody
Bunch
from
of guys, go
Green
ahead.
Team and the
You have
school
your,
and
with the awards.
Watershed.
We're going to go first.
As well. So
Yeah,
we'll start with that.
go ahead.
Okay, Amanda?
She's not here today.
Oh,
I'm going
yeah,
to accept her, yes,
Okay.
on behalf of her. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jim Gila, could you?
Sorry. Again.
One more. Can you simulate?
We're losing home.
Like handing the envelope.
You got the rope.
Okay.
Janet, now it's your turn.
Congratulations.
Please, you got to be a little quicker with that.
Flash me, so just start.
Katie? Okay. Congratulations. Great work.
Congratulations. There you go.
Nicole D'Angelo. Congratulations. Very proud of you.
And that's for you.
Okay. Now smile. And you have to wait for that guy in the right.
Okay, we'll meet you up front in just a second.
Jessica? Good job, ladies.
Last but not least, yeah?
Gabrielle? Hey, congratulations. Great work.
Congratulations, very good.
Mike.
Very good.
All right.
Hey, you know what?
In the front?
Mike, tell you what, why don't you take your... Aaron, Mike,
Oh, yeah.
everyone from school, come on up forward. Jim, join us in a group, we'll get all behind you.
That chair's right, I knew it was yours.
Hey, Mike, good to see you again.
There you go. Hey, that's the county road.
Yeah, can you get us right here?
More tighter.
It's not bad.
Got it, Jim?
I got it.
Ladies, are you all set?
All our parents happy? We got it? Congratulations.
Great work, everybody.
Beautifully done. Very good. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you did great.
Thank you.
Keep it coming.
Yes.
Keep it coming. Keep these guys on their toes. Very nice. Okay, where are you, Mr.? Yeah, I'll give him a second. Okay. All right. If you guys want to be on your way, or you're welcome to stay for the rest of this meeting, but I'm sure you got lots of meetings and other places you could be right now. So we'll give you a few minutes to make good your escape. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Mark, good seeing you.
Bye-bye.
Wait tomorrow.
Take care.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great.
Terrific. Who's the little one in the black? Noticed it. Yeah. Oh, it's a good thing. Okay, Mr. Administrator, approval of minutes. Go ahead.
Now open to the public.
Oh, you want, are you? Gentlemen, once again, a motion to open the public for any item not appearing on the agenda.
So moved?
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the floor is open. If anyone would like to address the Township Committee, they can do so from the podium, giving us your name and address for the record. How you doing, Tim? All right. Seeing none, hearing none, motion to close.
So moved?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Very
Okay.
good, Mr. Administrator.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we now continue with our formal agenda, we have the approval of the Township Committee regular minutes of April 9th, 2019. May we have a motion for approval?
Motion?
We have a motion?
Second.
On roll call, Mr. Gallagher?
Aye.
Mr. Mahalko?
Yes?
Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
April 11th.
April 11th? We have April 9th there.
9th is a Tuesday, but...
Oh, yeah, we'll make an amendment to that. That's
There
right.
you go.
Very good. Eagle eye.
There you go.
Okay, we'll make that correction, April 11th. You are correct. Communications. We have two items of communication, ladies and gentlemen. The first is a letter that's been submitted to Brian Foran, the superintendent, and it reads as follows. Brian, this letter will serve as notification that I will be retiring on June the 1st, 2019. My last day of work will be on May 2nd, 2019. I intend to use the balance of my personal and vacation time through May. Thank you, DPW employee Brian McLean. May we have a motion on the acceptance of the letter of retirement?
So moved.
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So approved. The second item is a letter from William Albert, the Business Administrator Board Secretary for the Hanover Park Regional High School District. And it is a breakdown of the tax levy monies that will be due and owing the regional school district during fiscal year 2019 and 2020. There will be monthly payments in 2019 of $1,163,859, and that is for July, August, September, October, November, and the payment in December will be $1,163,858. For the balance of the fiscal year in 2020, the payments will be on a monthly basis in January, February, March, and April of $1,163,859, and in May and June, $1,163,858 each for May and June. As we continue, we have departmental reports, which are available for public inspection, and they include the following: the reports of the Township Engineer. He has submitted 2 reports as of April 25th and May 9th. And we have the Superintendent of the Public Works, Buildings and Grounds, and Park Maintenance Department submitting his reports for all activities conducted during the month of April 2019. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have for consideration of adoption and public hearing several ordinances, and they may be found on pages 1 and 2. And they are as follows: ordinance number 15-2019, 16-2019, 17-2019, 18-2019, and 19-2019. Will indicate for the record that all of these ordinances, including the notices of introduction, appeared in full in the Daily Record in the issue of April 17th. We'll also note, with regard to ordinance number 19-2019, which is a land use ordinance, that ordinance was referred to the Township's Planning Board in accordance with the municipal land use law for a review and recommendation. The ordinance was also filed with the Morris County Department of Planning. We received notification of the filing. And finally, the Planning Board did submit a letter of recommendation that ordinance number 19-2019 be adopted by the Township Committee. So, as a consent agenda for public hearing, once we have the motion for public hearing, anyone wishing to be heard on any of those 5 ordinances will be given an opportunity to speak. So at this time, may we have a motion to convene the public hearings on ordinances 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Francioli, seconded by Mr. Gallagher. On roll call, Mr. Gallagher.
Aye.
Mr. Mahalko.
Yes.
Mr. Cahill.
Yes.
And Mr. Francioli.
Aye.
Now, is there anyone in chambers wishing to be heard concerning ordinance 15, 16, 17, 18, or 19?
Motion to close.
We have a motion to close. We have a second. On roll call to close the public hearings on all 5 ordinances, Mr. Gallagher?
Aye.
Mr. Mahalko?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
And Mr. Francioli?
Aye.
Now, on adoption, for all 5 ordinances, the notice of adoption will appear in full in the May 15th issue of the Daily Record in accordance with law. So at this time, may I have a motion for adoption of all 5 ordinances?
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Francioli, seconded by Mr. Gallagher. On roll call for the adoption of ordinances 15-2019, 16-2019, 17-2019, 18-2019, and 19-2019. On the motion by Mr. Francioli and Gallagher, on roll call for adoption, Mr. Gallagher.
Aye.
Mr. Mahalko.
Yes.
Mr. Cahill.
Yes.
And Mr. Francioli.
Aye.
So adopted. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on for introduction of ordinances, also as a consent agenda, and they are ordinance numbers 20-2019, 21-2019, ordinance number 22-2019, ordinance number 23-2019, and ordinance number 24-2019. All 5 ordinances will be considered for public hearing and final passage at the Township Committee meeting on Thursday evening, June 13th at 8 p.m. here in the main meeting room. And at that time, any person wishing to be heard, any of those ordinances will be given an opportunity to speak. The ordinances and the notices of introduction will appear in full in the daily record in accordance with law. So at this time, may we entertain a motion for introduction of ordinances 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24, 2019.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Gallagher,
Second.
second by Mr. Francioli. On roll call for introduction, Mr. Gallagher.
Aye.
Mr. Mahalko.
Yes.
Mr. Cahill.
Yes.
And Mr. Francioli.
Aye.
So moved and introduced. On resolutions as a consent agenda, members of the governing body, are there any questions concerning any of the resolutions which appear as 11A through 11T?
No, motion approved.
Okay, we have a motion for approval, second by Mr. Cahill. On the resolutions for approval, on roll call, Mr. Gallagher.
Aye.
Mr. Mahalko.
Yes.
Mr. Cahill.
Yes.
And Mr. Francioli.
Aye.
We continue, ladies and gentlemen, on the payment of bills. Total amount for payment, $8,051,616.48.
So moved.
We have a motion by the mayor for approval of our bills
Second.
for payment. Second by Mr. Gallagher. On roll call for payment of bills, Mr. Gallagher.
Aye.
Mr. Mahalko.
Yes.
Mr. Cahill.
Yes.
And Mr. Francioli.
Aye.
We shall pay the bills.
And
On-
Sylvia, what's the interest rates up to now? Where is he?
Non-existent.
What's the phenomenal interest rate we're getting for the town now?
A little under 1.
Little under 1. Oh, my God. All right, go Joe, go ahead.
Okay, it's okay. Item number 13, the raffle applications, also as consent agenda, application 3209, 3210, 3211, 3212, 3213, and 3214. Any questions about the raffle applications?
No, motion approved.
We have a motion by Mr. Francioli,
Second.
second by Mr. Gallagher. On roll call, Mr. Gallagher.
Aye.
Mr. Mahalko.
Yes.
Mr. Cahill.
Yes.
And Mr. Francioli.
Aye.
So approved. Mr. Chairman, members of the Township Committee, that clears the formal agenda of the Township Clerk, Business Administrator, and I thank you.
Well, thank you, Joe, appreciate it. At this time, as most know who've been following our meeting, we get a report from our Township Attorney concerning the status of our fair share housing obligation. So at this time, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Fred Simmerow, the attorney for Hanover Township. Fred?
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, as the township continues with its third round affordable housing obligation, and remember, the purpose of this is so that when it's all said and done, Hanover can continue to make its own zoning decisions. It can make decisions with respect to residential or commercial development in the way it seems or deems fit. So we continue with a third round affordable housing plan that the governing body has put together that will be, I would say, over the summer forthcoming before the planning board, which again will include Pine Plaza. The primary properties will be Pine Plaza and the River Park site. And the next step in the legal process is for the court to look at the township's plan and make a determination if that plan is fair and reasonable, Once that determination's been made, we'll be able to then go forward and take the necessary steps to effectuate that plan. So I would hope by the next meeting and my next report, we will have an opinion from the court that the plan is fair and reasonable. That would be a significant step. And thereafter, the plan would be put into effect, and you'll see appropriate third round affordable housing plans go forward before the planning board, and zoning adjustments to the Pine Plaza and the River Park sites, and some of the other sites as well that are involved in the town's plan. And then what that all means is, all through this process, the town has immunity where a builder cannot come in and demand that the township has to build or agree to build affordable housing. We have that immunity now because we've made these preliminary steps. We'll continue to have that immunity, and we'll have it when this process is over all the way through 2025. And that's my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Fred, appreciate it. Gentlemen, once again, I'd like to open the floor. So, motion to open? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the floor is open. If anyone would like to address the Township Committee, please do so from the podium, giving your name and address for the record. Hearing none? Seeing none? Motion to close? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, gentlemen. Committeeman Gallagher, how are we doing?
Thanks, Ron. You know, when I first became a committeeman, John and Ron told me that you never can do anything without thanking your wife. So I want to say Happy Mother's Day to my wife. I want to say Happy Mother's Day to my mother and my mother-in-law. Thank God they're still with us. And I also want to say Happy Mother's Day to every mother in Hanover Township. It's part of our big family, and I hope you have a great day, and I hope you get to relax a little bit. Every one of you. I really do. Hope you have a great day. How was that, all right?
Wow.
Good start. All right. My first comments are going to be quick, and they're, again, and of course, about the DPW. We had a great opening day. Our fields are beautiful. They look great. The guys are working on them all the time. We've had some incredible downpours. And I'm happy to report, the day of the downpour, we all got a lot of calls about how wet the fields were, the pockets of water on the fields, but guess what? The next day, 6 of them were open. And right from Brian Ferran, we're the only ones in this area that had fields open the next day. So our guys are on it, and we all appreciate it on behalf of our kids and our big kids that are out there coaching and having a good time. Not only did they get the fields prepared, but they went out and aggressively trimmed trees around our fields and our parks. They cut and lined all the fields, repaired the mounds, which we talked quite a bit about this winter, Committeeman Mahalko, about getting our mounds back up. We understand it requires a different kind of clay, a different kind of skill set, so they look really nice. But soccer is active now too, and so is lacrosse. The fields look great, they're lined, everybody's enjoying them. Cut and chipped all the brush around the parks, repaired the dugouts. Again, Little League opening day was great, although I lost my phone for a little while, so I didn't have the good time that I wanted to have, but still...
He went into panic mode.
These guys were helping me out with my attitude, so I was happy. But, you know, once again, it's a team effort, and the DPW is 24/7, and I really appreciate them. And before I wind up with some fun items, I just want to say that the Township Committee is well aware of the Emerald Ash Borer. We set out and put, with our arborists and our engineering department and our DPW, a very aggressive team to do an inventory on the status of our ash trees. We appropriated money to remove all our poor and our ones that are in the category of poor and failing, which is going to be quite a bit of trees. I believe in total it was 134. So we're on it. We're going to get that work is beginning now, and we're starting with priority areas such as around our fields and parks where all our families go, our right-of-ways. So I want you to know when you hear about the Emerald Ash Borer, I want you to know Hanover Township is ahead of the curve, and we're working very hard, and we have teams out there now not only addressing the issues in identification but remediating the problem. June 8th, the big night out. It's going to be at Memorial Junior School this year instead of the high school. Everybody wants to come have a good time, we'd love to have you. Last Saturday, training with HTPD. The pilot program was for the high school. You do something for the high school, of course the little kids want it too. So we have one more big exercise on May 18th with Hanover Township PD training the Tigers Nation. And at that point, if the kids do a great job, they're respectful of their coaches, the environment, and the police, they're going to be asked to be official security at our big night out. So a 7th and an 8th grader having a t-shirt that says Tigers Nation on the front, security on the back, I think you're going to feel pretty special and empowered that night. The last thing I'll say is it is springtime. I think it's going to be nice tomorrow. It seems to be nice every other day, but our kids are out there on bikes. A lot of people are walking, a lot of people are jogging. And just please be careful out there because we work very hard to provide safe passage for our students from their school to the quick check to the center up in Cedar Knolls. But please be careful because they're distracted, and if the drivers are distracted, that could have a potentially bad outcome. So please, please, please be careful. Our kids are out there having a good time living the American dream. That's it, Ron.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. To piggyback on a comment that Ace made, the critical comment here, on the ash tree borer. We are losing many, many trees in the township, as you see. The references that Committeeman Gallagher made are to all ash tree borer or trees that are diseased, etc., on township-owned properties, township right-of-ways, township properties, parks, etc. And Committeeman Gallagher has done along with the Public Works Department, an incredible survey of those trees and what has to be done, and have made recommendations along with county programs to have them removed. That's a good thing. But the reminder is that all other ash trees that are not on public property, that are on your property, your right-of-ways, etc., are the responsibilities of the homeowner. So please examine those trees, and the advice that I can possibly give you at this juncture is to make arrangements to have them removed if in fact you feel they are going to be problematic or danger to you and pedestrians along the way. So having said that, that's the note I have there.
Ron, let me jump in on one thing that you said.
Yeah.
When anybody does, and I'm in the business, so I'm going to be very careful, but when anybody decides that they may have an issue with their ash tree, please, when you call to have a professional tree outfit come out and inspect your tree, make sure that they're licensed, fully insured, and it always helps to get references. Because in the tree business, just like every other business, a problem like this is an opportunity. And there's an opportunity for good people to be taken advantage of. So the three things: make sure they're licensed by the state of New Jersey, make sure they're fully insured, and always get references from friends and family. Who did you use? Did you like them? Would you use them again? Because just like everything else, people are going to see this as an opportunity, and we have to be very careful and keep an eye on each other.
Excellent.
That's it.
Excellent. I think everyone's got the point very well. Committeeman Cahill, what's going on?
Thank you. Well, I'll start with a program that I talked about last month, the You Drive, You Text, You Pay enforcement campaign. That wrapped up on April 21st, so I thought I'd just give a few quick stats. During the course of that program, which ran April 1 to April 21, there were 523 summonses issued. 179 of those were for cell phone or texting violations, which is really kind of the premise for distracted driving, so on and so forth. But a lot of other things as well. It's amazing what you run into, but there were 3 DWI arrests, 6 possession of CDS arrests, 14 suspended drivers, 14 careless driving summonses, and 1 warrant arrest, to name a few. So very, very busy. We'll wait to see what the results are as we are compared to the rest of the state or the rest of the police departments that participated in the program. We usually wind up being pretty high in the ranks as far as performance along those lines. Sticking with the police, this morning, the police unity tour kicked off. And what that is let me go back in time real quick. The police chief of Florham Park in 1997 decided to put together a bike ride from Florham Park to Washington, D.C. And to honor those that died in the line of duty. It's grown significantly since then, and this morning, well, I go back to last year, we don't have the stats yet for this morning, but last year there were over 2,600 riders. So again, they left from Target this morning at 9:30 this morning. They'll take 3 days to get down to Washington, D.C., where the ride culminates with a memorial service at the Police Memorial down in Washington, D.C. This is also a fundraiser, and just another quick stat on that. Over the past 22 years, this group has raised over $23 million for the Police Memorial and the Police Museum and that sort of thing. So from our own PD, this year we have a record number of people who participated. Chief Mark Roddy, Lieutenant Ryan Williams, Officers Eric Prock and Ed Zakaruski, as well as our own special law enforcement officer from Memorial Junior School, Tim Franks. He also joined as well. So there's 4 of them. Right now, probably resting somewhere in Somerset, New Jersey. Today was the short run, and then the next 2 or 3 days are 100 miles a day. So hopefully the weather holds for them.
With a lot of Advil.
On April 15th, sticking with the police department, we were informed by the New Jersey Narcotics Enforcement Officers Association that Hanover Township Police Department has been awarded with a Law Enforcement Initiative Award. Obviously, this group has a lot to do with law enforcement fighting narcotics abuse, but also helping addicts as well. I don't have all the details yet on exactly what the program we were honored for yet, but they will be honored in Atlantic City at a luncheon for that award. I'll give you some more details when I get more information on that as well. Just a reminder, the Youth Public Safety Academy registration is still ongoing. This is, again, it's a program where youth come in for a camp, 2-week camp, instructed by Hanover Township Police, the Knowles and Whitby Fire Department, and the Morris County Sheriff's Office. It runs from Monday, July 8th through Friday, July 19th. Sign-ups are in person until May 24th, and it's 125 persons, so get out there. It's a really good program. Last Sunday was the Whitby Fire Company 5K. As in keeping with tradition, it rained like crazy. But there were 175 people registered, and 17 people actually came out that morning and signed up. So it was a pretty good crowd. A lot of fire departments I noticed from other towns in full gear running, which I thought was pretty cool. So it really was a success, and really I'm thinking next year it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice weather. So, and then last thing, speaking of 5Ks, the Hanover Township Education Foundation, just a reminder, June 8th is their 5K. So I'd remind you to sign up for that if you're interested at HanoverEducationFoundation.org. And again, that'll be June 8th. So that's it.
Excellent, very good, very good. Good evening, Michael.
There's always stuff going on in Hanover Township,
Always.
especially when it comes to rec and seniors. We're always busy. For a small town, we got a lot going on. First, I want to point out the mayor gave our seniors the State of Hanover address last Wednesday. It was a terrific one. I'm sure he'll be doing a formal one soon, correct?
Thank you, yes,
Yeah,
more formal.
does a great job, a great question and answer. The seniors are always great to work with. They always have a lot of questions and really enjoy working with them. It really is my pleasure, and it's one of my favorite details. And again, Mayor Francioli was there to give our State of Hanover. Just a reminder, the parade is on May 27th. Step-off is, I believe, is at 9:30. And that's our Memorial Day Parade. So remember to come on out. It's the same route as it has been for years. We start at Whippany Park High School and work our way down to the American Legion. We got a few things coming up, especially this weekend. We have a King Kong trip, a trip to the...
Wait, is this that same King Kong
Yes, it got canceled several times due to snow.
Get off on.
Our trip to Broadway, King Kong, there actually is a couple tickets available because people couldn't make it. But that's this Saturday, so reach out to Rec Department really quick tomorrow. We have some tickets available, just a few, but it's a really good trip. Also on this Saturday, Hanover Township Little League is sponsoring a trip to the Patriots baseball.
Yeah.
It's $20. That includes the ticket and a bus trip down.
Evening.
That's also this Saturday. So you gotta again reach out to the Rec Department. They'll steer you in the right direction. It's a really good trip. There's actually fireworks that night. It's an evening game. So again, get involved with that one. Coming up, May 18th, we have our fishing contest at Malapartis Pond. put that on your radar. 8 a.m. it begins. Registration begins at 8 a.m. Contest starts at 9 o'clock, goes until noon. And then following that, here at the community center is the Touch-A-Truck. That's going to go from 1 to 3 p.m. at the community center, also on the 18th, right afterwards. Going right down our list, pardon me, B Meadow Pool. Believe it or not, B Meadow Pool is going to be opening very soon. It opens Memorial Day weekend on May 24th. So mark your calendars. It's going to be some fun things. Registration is still open. I also want to point out, remind our seniors, we're focusing a lot of events and activities for seniors this year, in addition to all the stuff that we do for the kids and teens. Again, registration is still open. Check out the website. Join the pool. Registration has been pretty steady, so keep an eye out for that. A couple other things. June 12th, we have a Beauty and the Beast trip to Paper Mill Playhouse. Unfortunately, that one's been sold out already. Hopefully that won't get canceled because of snow. Our summer programs, we opened up our registration this week, and that has been going like gangbusters. Several of the programs have already been sold out, but we do have some availability. Counselors in Training program is still available. Traveling teen camps, all of that has been sold out. Summer Plus camps, there are still availability for the Summer Plus camps. So again, check the website out. There's a lot of good programs from, for young kids on up. Also the teen program, the Youth Safety Academy, that's another one for the older teens. Plenty of stuff out there. Check it out. A lot of stuff to get involved with. Now's the time to get registered. I just wanted to point out one thing. In reference to our playground over at B Meadow, with the approval and support of the committee that we just did, our resolution authorizing the funds, the playground will be going full steam ahead. And fingers crossed, with our diligent work from our engineering department and DPW, hopefully we'll be on track to get that going by the late spring, early summer. We're going to kind of fast track that because unfortunately we had to shut down the larger section, the older child section of the old playground, and that will be removed shortly if it hasn't been done already. So we really want to get this moving. And it came in well under budget, which we don't hear very often.
All the better.
Some $60,000 under budget.
Oh.
So that was some good news also. So we're really going to fast track that and get that moving now that we have the approval and again the support from the committee. So that's my report.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff.
I got to tell you, the Recreation Department is outrageous, just outrageous. And what Michael has just gone through is just a few of the programs that they've got throughout the year. I've been told to remind you that Shred Day is coming up. And Deputy Mayor Farmaska, who couldn't be with us tonight, gave me information on that. And if anyone is interested in that, Shred Day is June 22nd. Hanover Township Community Center is where it'll be held. So if you have documents, those old tax documents you've had up in the attic for 12 years, well, bring them on down, put them in shred. We'll shred. That'll be Shred Day there. It goes from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., June 22nd. That's a Saturday, here at the Township Community Center. So I want you to be aware of that. So, John, we made the announcement for you. That's good. As you know, along with our recreation events coming up, we know that the Stony Brook Farm and Garden is a continuum, and it's open and available, and there are gardens for those of us who are interested. A garden is $25 for the year, 4 foot by 16 foot. It's in a secured area. If you ever want to get over there, and I hope you do, take a look at it at the end of Stony Brook, by right across from our soccer field. You'll see the farm. There are implements there for those of you who are not farmers who want to learn how to farm. We have a master gardener. We have 2 managers of the farm as well. Take advantage of it. We are signing up subscriptions for 2019 as I speak, so please join us with that. I'd like to make one other comment. It's been followed on Facebook. It's been followed by some of my colleagues here, including Mr. Gallagher, and that is the issue that we're having here in Hanover Township, throughout the state of New Jersey, if not throughout the country, and that is robocalling. Robocalls have become not just a nuisance, but they have become truly criminal acts. Phone calls to you with individuals with various scams that are preying on your emotions to send money. My recommendation, since there are so many different robocalls now being circulated around on the phone, is that if you have voicemail and you don't recognize the phone number that's coming in, send it to voicemail. Don't answer that number. If it's legitimate and it goes to your voicemail, that person will leave you a message. You check the message. If you're not sure of the message, check with a friend, check with a relative, then make the call back. If you answer some of these calls, it will automatically go into a system where they would have access to your records and potentially to your bank accounts. I caution you not to answer phone calls that you're not familiar with and to use your voicemail. So thank you for that. I'm concluded. So gentlemen, if there's no other business from the committee at this time, we'll accept the motion for adjourn.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Committee stands adjourned. Thank you very much. These robocalls are getting out of hand.
We got one in the morning
I
at
have
5 in the morning.
Wasn't today supposed to be a proclamation for the Wear Orange?
I'm sorry,
Was
proclamation.
today supposed to be a proclamation for the Wear Orange Day?
Gun violence.
Oh, that, Township